Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Kogila, okay? Today I'm going to talk about the client-side scripting, API, and how to configure client-side scripts in the platform. Scripting in ServiceNow is used to enhance the user experience, extend functionality, or add new functionality to applications. ServiceNow has two main types of platform scripting, which are client-side and server-side scripting. Client-side scripts execute on a user's browser and used to manipulate form and form fields. The examples are client script and UI policy. Server-side scripts execute in the ServiceNow backend on the database. Some of the examples are business rules, schedule jobs, script includes, and others. Today we're going to explore the client-side scripting, which are client scripts and UI policies. Let's have a look in the platform. You can create a client script or UI policy by navigating to their respective modules or from the form view of the table. Under system definition, client scripts. This shows all the client scripts available. Or you can go to the table, specific table. Open the form view. Click on the column context menu, configure client scripts. This will show all the client scripts available for the particular table. If you want to create a new client script, click New. To configure a client script, specify the name of the client script. Add the table of the client script, UI type, the user interface you want to use a client script for desktop, mobile, service portal, or all. Type of the client script. Client script has four types: on load, on change, on submit, and on cell edit. On-load client script executes when the form loads and before the control given to the user. It is used to manipulate form's appearance or content. On-change client script executes when the field value changes. It can be used to modify a field value based on the changes in another field value. On-submit client script executes when user saves, submits, or updates the form. It is used to validate the field values. On-cell edit script applies to the list view of the records. Application. Active must be checked to make the script available. Inherited to make it available to extended tables. Global applies to all view on the table. To specify a view, untick the global. Here you can specify the view that you want the client script to run. Describe the purpose and functionality of the client script. This is a sample client script I've created before for the demonstration purpose. This is the script editor where you will write your script. Specify the function, the type of the client script. Here I have onload client script. Write the comment. When you're writing a script, adding a comment on what the script does is the best practice in ServiceNow. Maybe in the future, you or any other developers will be able to understand the code functions easily without scrolling all the way and trying to understand the code. Here we have gform. In this example, we are setting the requested for field to user's ID. Glide form and glide user are commonly used client-side API. API stands for Application Programming Interface. They provide common functionality that you can add to your instance by using client scripts or UI policy scripts. Glide form provides methods to customize forms. It accesses through global gform object. One of the methods here is called setValue. It sets value of a field. Glide user, on the other hand, provides properties to find information and roles of the current logged in user. For example, first name, last name, user ID. Here we have gform API, setValue method. You requested for is the field name, guser API, and the user ID. Update. If you open a new form, all test table, new. If you open a new form, the requested for field should be set to the current logged in user. In this case is the system administrator. Let's see another example. In this example, create alert using short description. We have onload client script, gets the value of a short description and displays it in an alert. Function onload alert using short description is the comment here. Alert value of short description, the field name is gform API get value method short description field. I forgot to make it active. Active must be checked for the script to run. Let's go back to the record. Now we can see the alert of the short description. What if the user needs information not available on the form? In this case, the user can use G-Scratchpad or Glide Ajax API in the client script or UI policies to get information from the server side. The difference between these two methods is G-Scratchpad is executed when the form loads, whereas Glide Ajax dynamically triggered when client requests information from server. You can learn more about these methods or other APIs in ServiceNow in the product documentation. Next, moving on to UI policies. I'm creating the UI policy from a table. You can also go to the UI policy modules to create one. UI policies are used to configure the behavior and visibility of the form fields. It doesn't have a name field. It uses short description field as the pseudonym. Order, in which order you want the UI policy to execute. Active must be ticked for the UI policy to run, and the application. When to apply, condition field. Condition, when do you want to apply run your UI policy? The condition must be written true to execute. You can configure a UI policy without scripting. It also had advanced sections to run script. The scripting section is available only in the advanced view. It's not available in the default view. You have to save the form for the UI policy action to display. UI policy scripting is used to create complex conditions. To make use of the full JavaScript method, show or hide the sections. Fields can be hidden with UI policy actions, but sections cannot. For that, you must use scripting. UI policy actions are used to make the fields mandatory, hide or visible, or read-only. Let's have a look at an example I've created before for the demonstration purpose. In this UI policy, I'm setting the requested for field mandatory. Active checked. Condition when to apply. So active is true, which means the active is ticked, the record is active, and approval is requested. So when a record is active and the approval is requested, this UI policy will run. Under my UI policy action, I've configured the field name requested for to be mandatory. So here we have options to make the mandatory true, false, or leave alone, visibility or read only. I've only configured the mandatory field. Update. Make sure it's active. Update. Now let's look at the form. Here, the record is active, but the approval is not yet requested, so the requested for field is not mandatory. When I change the approval to requested, the requested for field now it's showing is a mandatory field. If you change it back to approved, the asterisk mark is gone. So to summarize client script and UI policies, client script executes when form loads. It runs on form save, submit, or update. Runs when form field value changes. It has access to field's old value. It needs scripting and execute when list field value changes. On the other end, UI policy executes when form loads, runs when form field value changes, and runs after the client script. Having said that, we have come to an end of the client script session today. I hope you take some useful information with you and practice it in the platform. In my next video, I will talk about server-side scripting. Thank you very much, and I see you again in my next video.